What's going on, everybody? It's Mr. Do-It-All, and in this video we're going to be talking about the Indianapolis Colts. Now, Colts fans, I'm very sorry for what's been going on in your franchise. The last 2 seasons, you have an incompetent GM who... Actually, my bad. Let me take that back. That incompetent GM is gone. You right now have an incompetent owner in Jim Irsay. You have one of the most... How do I say this? The most gifted quarterbacks in the NFL right now in Andrew Luck. You haven't surrounded him with any offensive line help. You haven't surrounded him with a big-time target. No disrespect to T.Y. Hilton, but what I look for, personally, when I look for in a big-time target is a receiver that's 6'2", 220 pounds, and can jump out of the building. You haven't surrounded these guys with a competent defense. You have Chuck Pagano, who's a defensive coach, but he can't coach these guys up. You need to start drafting better. And the fourth problem is you don't have a running game. Andrew Luck cannot sling the ball around 50 times a game when he has shoulder issues. Okay? Now, let's go ahead and talk about the Colts. A team that has brought in nobody of real notice. Christine Michael, Kamar Aiken. Ryan Schwenke. On the off-season losses, Trent Cole, I guess, DeQuell Jackson, Pat McAfee. Actually, Pat McAfee was a pretty good punter for a little while. So, talking about the Colts here, they have a terrible offensive line. They can't run the ball. Frank Gore is one of the better backs in the league, but he's gotten up there. He's 34 years old. They need to start looking to the future for that running game. Andrew Luck is hurt right now. I don't even know if he's going to play. Let's hypothetically say they lose their first 5 games and Andrew Luck doesn't play in those games. Why even risk putting him out there? I don't agree with putting him out there. On the defensive side of the ball, Vontae Davis is now out. That's not saying much because Vontae Davis hasn't really been a shutdown corner the last couple years. They can't get to the quarterback like they used to. They drafted Malik Hooker and Quincy Wilson, 2 guys that could turn out to be potential stars. Not stars, but solid starters in the league. But, you need to let this team grow up a little bit. Obviously, I just don't think that that this team is going anywhere this year at least. For a while, they were a team that you could talk about winning their division. When Andrew Luck first came into the league, winning their division and possibly competing with the Patriots. Now they did. They get to the AFC Championship game one year. Obviously the Deflategate year, but I just don't see this team as being that team anymore. I think Houston's a better team. I also think that Tennessee is a better team than these guys right now. You could maybe even say Jacksonville, but Jacksonville also has quarterback issues. So let's go ahead and look at some other issues that this team has. Just not drafting well either. Like, they haven't really had a solid draft. They don't have a solid corner to go across from Vontae Davis. They can't get to the quarterback. They can't block for their stud quarterback. And it's doing a huge disservice to Andrew Luck. That's just what I think personally. I do think that you need to start selling assets for picks. That's something that I am for. They might need to look into that. This team last year was 8-8. They had a chance to win their division, but they didn't. Last year's division was bad. So let's go ahead and look at their draft. They had 2 4s. They drafted Terrell Basham, Malik Hooker, Quincy Wilson. The first 3 picks look solid. I feel like they reached for Zach Banner from USC and the running back from South Florida, Marlon Mack. Maybe they see him as their future running back. They have not had a very good preseason right now. Preseason doesn't matter, but it's about being healthy. So let's go ahead and jump into their schedule now. They start the season off against the Rams. That's a toss-up game. I think the Rams could beat them, honestly, right now, if they don't have Andrew Luck. If they have Andrew Luck, it's a different ball game. Versus the Cardinals, that's an L. Versus Cleveland, I think Cleveland's better than them. That's an L. At Seattle, that's an L. Versus the 49ers, that's a W. 49ers aren't ready. At Tennessee, that's an L. That's a Monday night game. So you got Tennessee and Indianapolis on Monday night. I just don't like that. Jacksonville, that's a W. At Cincinnati, that's an L. At Houston, that's an L. Versus Pittsburgh, that's an L. Bye week. Versus Tennessee, they might win a game against Tennessee. They might split that game, split that series, and split against Jacksonville. At Buffalo, that could be a W. Versus Denver, that's an L. At Baltimore, that's an L. Versus Houston, that's an L. I think the best this team could finish is 8-8. They're not going to finish 8-8. I think they'll finish 6-10. Their floor might be 4-12. Their ceiling's 8-8. So I mean, it varies. Obviously, with Andrew Luck being there, it helps. But right now, it just doesn't look like that's going to happen. So that'll wrap it up for me. Make sure to go ahead and check out my other NFL season preview videos. We got the Jaguars, Titans, and Texans coming up next. And then we're going to go to the AFC North, the black and blue division, as I like to call it. Teams that beat each other up. So make sure to check those videos out when they come out. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and like button. Leave your comments down below if you don't agree with me. I will gladly argue with you on YouTube comments. So make sure to check that out. Let me know what you feel. I'm out. Thanks, guys.